Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are reading in A Course in Miracles, complete and annotated edition. We are on lesson 246 in part 2 of the workbook for students, section 3, What is the World? To love my Father is to love his Son. Let me not think that I can find the way to God if I have hatred in my heart. Let me not try to hurt God's Son. Footnote 45. God's Son here refers to our brothers, the ones we hate and must come to love. So let me not try to hurt God's Son and think that I can know his Father or myself. Let me not fail to recognize myself and still believe that my awareness can contain my Father, or my mind conceive of all the love my Father has for me, and all the love which I return to him. Footnote 46. Fail to recognize myself seems to be the same as the inability to know myself from the previous sentence. The idea is that when we hate and try to hurt our brother, we become blinded to who we really are, falsely believing we are sinful, unworthy. We cannot conceive of how much God really loves us and how much we really love him. I will accept the way you choose for me to come to you, my Father. Footnote 47. The way God chooses for us to come to him is through the love of our brothers. That God chooses this implies that it is the best option among a field of potential ways to return to him. I will accept the way you choose for me to come to you, my Father, for in that will I succeed, because it is your will. And I would recognize that what you will is what I will as well, and only that. And so I choose to love your Son. Amen. And we will now go to the commentary by Robert Perry and Alan Watson. To love my Father is to love his Son. And this is practice suggestion by Robert Perry. I suggest applying this idea specifically to people in your life throughout the day. Say, to love my Father is to love his Son, Tanya. Or to love my Father is to love his Son, Freddie. You might want to add, let me not think that I can attack the Son and still know the Father. This is the commentary by Alan Watson. We can't love God without loving what he created. The Apostle John in his epistles, said very much the same thing as today's lesson. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. And that's from 1 John 4:20-21. The Son of God in the Course refers not simply to Jesus or just to all our brothers and sisters. It also includes ourselves. The measure of the quality of relationship we have with God is the relationships we have with those around us and with ourselves. Our love for our brothers and sisters reflect the love that we have for God. Let me not think that I can find the way to God if I have hatred in my heart. If in some way I am wishing harm to my brother, I cannot know God, nor can I even know myself. And if I am in my mind diminishing myself, I, who am God's own Son, will be unable to truly know God's love for me or mine for him. God bless you. The ego is a thought of attack. It believes it has attacked God and succeeded. And yet it sees that battle reflected in everyone around us and projects its fear and its attacks onto everything, often in subtle disguises, some even bearing the name of love. Let me be open to discovering the little bits of hatred that still lie in my heart, especially those directed at myself. There are far more than I would like to believe. The text teaches me that uncovering the hatred within myself is crucial. It tells me you must realize that your hatred is in your mind and not outside it before you can get rid of it. The scraps of hatred I clutch to me must be seen for what they are and chosen against. With a deliberate act of will, I need to say, I choose to love your Son. The choice for love is the choice for God and the choice for myself, capital S. Please close your eyes and join me in the meditation for lesson 246. To love my Father is to love His Son. I will accept the way you choose for me to come to you, my Father, for in that will I succeed because it is your will. And I would recognize that what you will is what I will as well, and only that. And so I choose to love your Son. Amen. To love my Father is to love His Son. now we will read in What is the World? Paragraph 3, sentences 3 through 5. Their aim is to fulfill the purpose which the world was made to witness and make real. They see in its illusions but a solid base where truth exists, upheld apart from lies. Yet everything which they report is but illusion, which is kept apart from truth. And that's the mechanisms of illusion have been born instead, and now they go to find what has been given them to seek. Their aim is to fulfill the purpose which the world was made to witness and make real. They see in its illusions but a solid base where truth exists, upheld apart from lies. Yet everything which they report is but illusion, which is kept apart from truth. And this is the commentary. What is the world? The mechanisms of illusion are what make this world seem so real. They include even our eyes and ears and all of our physical senses. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The body's eyes see only form. They cannot see beyond what they were made to see, and they were made to look on error and not past it. When we view things with the ego's perception, illusion seems solid. The separation of the ego seems to be nothing but the truth. To see with the vision of Christ is to see the oneness instead of the separation. We need to be willing to discount for what our eyes are showing us because they were made to look on error. Everything that they report is but illusion which is kept apart from truth. The miracle enables us to see what eyes see not. It lifts our perception into the realm of the spiritual, away from the physical. We need to be willing to question what our senses seem to make real and be willing to perceive with a different kind of vision, something else entirely. We have been victims of a very clever and very successful propaganda campaign conducted by the master of disinformation, the ego. We need to realize that nothing we have believed to be true and counted upon as solid reality can be trusted. Everything must be called to question. We have been surrounded by a conspiracy of lies emanating from within our own mind. We have misdirected our senses until we became unconscious of what we were doing. But we can, today, redirect them. We can choose to look for evidence of love instead of hate, for peace instead of attack. We can say, above all else, I want to see things differently. Thank you so much for joining with me today in Lesson 246. To love my Father is to love His Son.